So I am here with Penelope, my F700GS, and she is looking worse for the wear. She's taken quite a beating. Let's start maybe with the aesthetics and then go to the nuts and bolts. And keep in mind, this is first glance, like I've been here for all of 2 minutes. So we clearly have some plastics. I mean, this is what it is. This is all shamushed. We got some scraping all around. We've got the same thing over here on the windscreen that's been bashed out. This piece was actually already broken, so that's not actually new, but it does look like there's been some bending that's gone on over here. That's been twisted. We've got this here, so this piece obviously pulled out. So something is misaligned clearly. That's a whole other question. So next, we've got the cases. Cases have taken a huge beating. So this is like not just dented, but gnarled. This is taking a hit. We've got on this side, same idea. I mean, this really got smashed. And so that, I mean, not that we care about this plastic stopper, but it just tore the whole thing off. I mean, that's the indication. I mean, on the inside here, it's less ugly. It's still sort of mounted securely. These Touratech cases generally don't come off the rack in my experience. They stay on there well, and so they'll get mangled on the side, but yeah, I mean, it's still mounted securely. So as far as the rack, I mean, we're gonna have to see. It actually seems to be fairly stable on here. And from a previous crash, I had welded it and reinforced it where it connects under the seat. So it's sort of already was pretty bomb-proof, but is even more so. So I wouldn't expect something to happen sort of where it connects here, but it's certainly possible that we've got some things that jostled and gotten loose. But again, I mean, there's not that much flex here that suggests to me that sort of the rack itself is blown apart in any way. So I think from the aesthetics and sort of the less maybe important side, that's what I'm noticing so far. Here's where it starts to get interesting. So we've basically destroyed this really heavy-duty alt-rider crash bar. So what we can see is it's bent here and it's smashed in to the plastic. Okay, this is whatever. I mean, that's just you know, aesthetic, but it's completely broken. And then the question becomes, was that the only part of it that sort of that coupled or that sort of crumpled? Or did it transfer any of that to the engine? Now, I'm not seeing any obvious signs of sort of cracking or leaking or anything. And my bike is really not a leaker, so I've never really had that problem. I'm not seeing any obvious indication of that. But it is absolutely concerning that, you know, the crash bar took such a bad hit that, you know, did any of that kind of come through to the engine? Or is this actually in itself a good sign that at a certain point the crash bar sort of knew that it should crumple and take the impact rather than passing it through to the engine? So that's itself a big concern. The radiator is destroyed. That's done for. It's clearly in smashing here. It's broken apart, this whole piece. So no more radiator. And radiator, we know from recent issues with Jess's bike for the G650, is like an $800 part. This is a bigger, stronger radiator, so you got to figure that's a good $1,000 to $1,200 for a new radiator. So there's that. Next, let's talk about whatever the fuck is going on here. I haven't figured this piece out yet, but clearly we've got an issue here. The center stand has been either the center stand has been sort of knocked off of its like right angle, and there may be some indication here that that's the case, but clearly it is offline. So it's either the center stand that's offline or the swing arm here is somehow offline, and I can't detect yet from the rear if it doesn't seem to be the case, but this is a bad sign. I mean, hopefully it would just be that the center stand is offline rather than something with the swing arm. But, you know, again, clearly this is not what should be happening. Okay, next, let's go to the front wheel. So I have long had a little bend in the rim. They're cast aluminum, so like it happens, and this has never given me an issue, so I've never bothered about it. Now we've got this. So this just tore the fuck apart, right? This obviously somehow caught on something or you know, took a really hard snap and it just peeled this thing apart. We've also got an impact point here that clearly has jostled this whole thing, but it's really hard to say whether or not, you know, that's transferred damage to the stanchions, right, to the forks. So again, I'm just looking at it sort of for first time for just a couple of minutes. This right here probably isn't a good sign, the fact that there's vibration or movement here. So something's been transferred through. Same on the other side. I mean, it's hard to imagine a version of this where this whole thing just split apart and, you know, snapped to one side, and that it hasn't like created a problem here with the forks. So that's a fair bit of ugliness that's yet to be determined. You know, hard to say what all is going on here. Let's, for curiosity's sake, she's got power. She turns on. It's not giving me an obvious error sign. She does have the brights on. So the next thing we can see, I'm going sort of out of order here because of this is important but not, you know, structural. Blew apart the brake fluid reservoir, so that's been destroyed. I have the other piece of that at the house. And from the standpoint of the bar, it's actually very clear that it's been jostled out of place. It's not clear to me whether or not the bar has been bent, but it's definitely out of line. So we'll see what that ultimately means, and you know, in terms of the supports here and everything. Let's take one more look here under the seat and just see what we see. So yeah, no evidence here that this crumpled. This actually stayed where I've reinforced it, for better or for worse. So it's, you know, we can see that the impact was clearly enough on the side that it just obliterated the rock straps in a couple of different places. We've got this rock strap that was blasted apart as well. And so, yeah, I mean, whether it hit on the top there is probably the case, but it just destroyed the rock strap. So all in all, I mean, salvageable, unclear. Is it like financially smart to try to put her back together? Probably not. So she's a 2013, has 150,000 kilometers, so just about 100,000 miles. It's not the first time she's flipped, but it is by far the worst time. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to see a version of this where the costs of repairing and restoring each of these components adds up to, you know, not the cost of like a replacement bike, at least of sort of more or less the same year and a lot fewer kilometers.